So in this video, I'm going to go over examples using exponent properties. I'm going to do all of the odd ones, everything in the left column, and the even ones I'm going to leave for your practice. Practice those and check out the filled out notes in Schoology so that you can check those, basically. Make sure you got the right answer, make sure you're understanding what's going on. So I'm going to zoom in on the odd ones and let's go through these. Okay, so in this first one, the -2 is in parentheses, so that's being raised to the -8, times -2 raised to the 4th. All right, so you see we've got the same base, -2 in parentheses, being multiplied together. So what am I going to do with their exponents? I'm going to leave the base the same, and with the exponents, I'm going to add them together. So -8 plus 4 is -4. Now at this step, I am not done. I'm not done because I see that I've got a negative exponent. That's no good. So I need to throw this whole thing onto the denominator. Base stays the same as -2, but the exponent is going to become positive. All right, so I get 1 over -2 raised to the 4th. And if I simplify that, that's going to be 1 over -2 times -2 times -2 times -2, which is 16. So 1/16. And all right, moving on to number 3. Again, I'll do the odds. You practice the evens. So we get 2 to the 4th to the 3rd. 2 to the 4th to the 3rd. So we have a power to a power. So what this is saying is I'm going to take 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 4th. So that's what this is saying. The shortcut or the rule is that I can multiply these exponents together. So I get 2 to the 12th. Now we can use our calculator to simplify that. That would be 4,096. Okay. So we could do 2 to the 12th or 4,096. Either one is fine. All right, moving on. Here we have 3 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 3rd, all raised to the 2nd. So there are a couple properties happening here. There's going to be 2 different ways we can solve this. So here is the first way. What if we simplified what was inside the parentheses first? So we have 3 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 3rd. So when it's a division, I can subtract their exponents. So this would be 3 squared. And this is all being raised to the 2nd. So that would be 3 to the 4th. 2 times 2 is 4. So 3 to the 4th is the same thing. I could simplify that to be 81. So either of those answers would be fine. All right, so that's the first way we could solve this. The second way is what if we kept everything inside the parentheses, 3 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 3rd. We keep that the same. We got this exponent of 2, and I take this exponent and I distribute it. Well, if I do that, the numerator is going to become 3 to the 10th, 5 times 2. The denominator is going to become 3 to the 6th, 3 times 2. Multiply their exponents together. And then we've got a division where we can subtract the exponents. So 10 minus 6 is 4, and 3 to the 4th is 81. So you'll see, you get the same exact answer. It's just determining what you want to simplify first. Okay? There's going to be a couple different ways to simplify these, but you got to make sure you're using those properties correctly. All right, moving on. Moving on to number 7. So we've got a long expression all dealing with x's. All right, so with that, we can add all the exponents together. So we have x to the 9th times x to the 1st times x to the -8th times x to the -2nd. So they all have the same base. So x can stay the base. And we got 9 plus 1, which is 10. 10 minus 8, which is 2. 2 minus 2, which is 0. So we get x to the 0. Anything raised to the 0 is 1, as long as x does not equal 0. All right? X can't be 0 here because 0 to the 0 is not 1. but x to the 0 is 1 as long as x is not 0. Moving on to number 9. So here we've got numbers and variables. So one thing that might be helpful is to split this up. So we got 10 divided by 2 times x to the 5th divided by x to the negative 5th. All right, at least to start, until we get more and more used to dealing with these types of problems, maybe splitting it up so that you have your like terms together, the numbers and the x's. All right, I shouldn't say like terms, these aren't terms, like factors together. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then with the x's, since I'm dividing, I could subtract their exponents. 5 minus negative 5 is the same thing as 10. So this would be 5x to the 10th. So that's one way we could look at it. Another way is if we started with this original problem and we said, okay, we've got a negative exponent here. Let's throw it up top. So then I'd have 10x to the 5th, and then I'd have another x to the 5th as soon as that exponent becomes positive, all over 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. X to the 5th times x to the 5th, if I add those exponents together, we get x to the 10th. We get the same exact answer. Doing all right still? I think we got 2 more problems left. So we got something like number 11. We have this expression, a to the 3rd, b to the negative 4th, all raised to the negative 3rd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this negative exponent inside the parentheses to those exponents. So we have a to the 3rd to the negative 3rd. If I multiply those, that's going to be a to the negative 9th. And b to the negative 4th to the negative 3rd. If I multiply those, that's going to be b to the 12th. So we're close to being done, but we see this a to the negative 9th. We got to throw that to the bottom. All right, so my final answer is going to be b to the 12th. That can stay on top because that's already a positive exponent, all over a to the 9th. That negative 9 as an exponent, I got to throw it to the bottom in order to make it become positive. Okay, and then we got our last one, number 13. All right, we got a lot going on here. So the first expression can stay the same. 5x squared y to the negative 3rd, because there's nothing going on with that. All right, but the second expression is all being raised to the second power. So I got to distribute that 2. So we've got negative 2 raised to the first power, x to the negative 1st, and y to the 3rd. So I'm going to distribute this. Don't forget the 2. So we're taking negative 2 squared, x to the negative 1st squared, and y to the 3rd squared. All right, so again, the first one can stay the same for right now. We're not ready to deal with it yet. But all of this orange stuff is going to simplify to give me negative 2 squared in parentheses, which is 4. X to the negative 1st squared is x to the negative 2nd. Y to the 3rd squared is y to the 6th. So now I can multiply these two, the purple and the orange, these two exponential expressions together. 5 times 4 is 20. X squared times x to the negative 2nd. If I add those exponents, I get x to the 0. And then y to the negative 3rd times y to the 6th. If I add those exponents, I get y to the 3rd. All right, x to the 0, this is just 1. So this is going to simplify to 20y to the 3rd. All right. So it's very easy to get overwhelmed with these, but just go through those properties and make sure you're doing them correctly. Make sure your answers don't have any negative exponents or anything like that. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems that you can practice right now and check the filled out notes to make sure you got the right answers. All right, so practice the evens. Email me or let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one. Make sure you study this chart and understand all the exponent rules. I'll see you when I see you.